What's going on, guys? Welcome to Game of the Month, the show where we pick a game randomly at the beginning of every month and we play it throughout the month, and at the end of the month we talk about it on this show, Game of the Month. Hopefully you guys also got to play Enter the Gungeon, which was our Game of the Month for March. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And a quick reminder, tomorrow is Plus Club, so hopefully you had a chance to play Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank, both offer free on PlayStation Plus. You're running out of time if you want to get those games, if you have PlayStation Plus, or if you're thinking about picking it up. And yeah, we'll be talking about those tomorrow. And like I said, this episode we'll be talking about Enter the Gungeon, which was our game this month, but that means we have to roll for a new month. So what are we playing in April?
Apparently, my choice. So...
Oh.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah. So we have a new system now where our names are on the list. Think about this while I explain this. And if we get rolled, we get to decide what we all play that month. So, yeah, it's up to Chevy, which is cool. I forgot we did that as well because I do not have anything prepped for that. So I should probably be thinking about that. If it was my choice, I'd be picking Far Cry 5. Or Ni no Kuni, too, because that's a fucking banger.
I'm going to pick Persona 5. I
Okay.
want to beat it, so it gives me a reason to.
It's a great
I
excuse.
want you to play it.
Yep.
Gives
So
you a reason to.
I'll have to.
And we'll have to find a way for Chris to play it if we can. So
Yeah. Yeah. So Persona 5 will be our game of the month for April. This is actually kind of exciting for me because it is a game that is not quite on a back burner list for me, but it's just like right there. I'm always like, I should play that. I should play that. I should play that. Should have picked Final Fantasy fucking 15 as well.
I should have.
Because those are two games that I'm like, I gotta play those, and I keep fucking putting it off. But I'm playing Ni no Kuni 2 right now, and I'm actually fucking loving it.
Mm-hmm.
So and we talked about this recently, not to get in too much, but like there's a while there where like where games were kind of like just straightforward, especially RPGs were like fucking linear, and that's one thing I'm really enjoying about RPGs right now is like all the micro systems. I'm like really fucking digging it. Like Ni no Kuni 2, I'm like loving right now. And it's because there's all these little things that I'm just like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And the people in the reviews were like, I don't like that they added that thing. I'm like, you don't have to fucking do it. I love it's there. And yeah, I played Persona 5, so I'm excited to have to play, probably past the tutorial, hopefully. I'll make it out of there. So, yeah.
I think once you get into like the meat of the features that you start unlocking as you actually play the game, I think you'll dig it. I mean, I was playing a couple nights ago, and I've talked to a certain person enough to where I've unlocked a perk to where I have a chance when I show up in battle that all my characters have their guns out already, and you just start unloading, get the first hit. Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff like that. You'll be in the middle of fighting, and another person who I won't name will just be like, they'll take over the screen. They're like, buffs incoming. And then all of a sudden you get a random buff. So,
That is cool. And I'm still at the part where there was like rolling out different features. And like, I'm literally in this like long ass tutorial, but there is a lot of things to the game. When I first started playing, I'm like, man, this game's kind of simple. Like, hopefully it's a little better, but they're still rolling out shit. So I'm like, the tutorial just really likes to take its time. Luckily, there's a story going on. It does have that very Japanese reiteration, a lot of I can't forget, or I can't remember the name of it, when in like a movie when they are explaining the story to you and everything. It starts with an E, I believe.
you're not talking
Exposition.
About
Yeah,
that was
a lot of
what you were
exposition.
thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, Persona 5 will be our game of the month for April. Hopefully you guys have a chance to play it. Maybe you're thinking about picking it up. Maybe now's the time to do it because we'll be playing it and you can talk to us about it.
No, we got someone in the Discord too who hasn't beat it yet, so give them an excuse as well.
And I was going to bring up in Discord too, you can come in and talk to us about your time playing it as well because the conversation continues on Discord. Yeah, so let's get into it. Game of the month, we played Enter the Gungeon, which if you do not know what that is, it is a top-down roguelike bullet hell game where you go from floor to floor to floor and you go as far as you can until you die, restart. There's ways to get further down quicker through an elevator later in the game, but it's essentially that. You can unlock the ability to find certain weapons per floor, but there is no loadouts as far as I know. There is 4 classes. There's a chick with a crossbow and a dog. There's a marine who essentially can take another hit than other ones, I believe.
Wears a helmet,
Yeah. There's some dude, I forgot what the fuck he does. and a chick, and I forgot what the fuck
I
she
didn't play
does.
the other two characters this time, so
I played all 4 of them. I think my favorite one. Let's start it off. Fucking so I played it. I probably played about 3 different times this month. I really slacked off on this one. But the excuse that I think is going to be very common this whole year is there was a lot of games that came out. Although I did put a lot of time into the Plus Club games, so we will have a more in-depth conversation tomorrow, I assure you. But about 3 different play sessions, about an hour a piece, so fucking 3 hours this month on this game. But it's a game that you play in bursts, so I don't feel like I didn't get a lot out of it. So I played this game prior before, and I like it. It's really interesting though returning to it. It's reminding me that I'm not a big fan of roguelikes as much as I appreciate them. I think this game plays really fucking well though. I really like the basic mechanics of flipping tables. I got a move at one point that every time you flip a table, it I think it like knocked bullets out of the air or something like that. I don't remember. Something like that. So every time I ran into a room, I started hitting a table anytime I got shot at. Because prior to that, I wasn't really flipping tables. When you flip tables, you use them as shields. They break eventually. The real weird thing about this game when I was playing it is, as I was playing it, I was like, yeah, I'm not really a big roguelike fan. But then I downloaded Rogue Legacy, and I actually put more time into that than I did put into Enter the Gungeon, because Rogue Legacy is my favorite roguelike. I would probably assume. I can't think of another one I like more. Anyway, a lot of things going for Enter the Gungeon, though, specifically for people who do like roguelikes and do like bullet hell games, is it has a really cool style. I believe it is a Devolver published game, so it has a lot of like style, not even visually, but just in general. The whole thing's really cool. Has a really colorful pixel look to it. Plays really well. Has a lot of guns that are really interesting. I'm finding a bunch of random ones that I haven't seen before, and you can unlock more as well. My favorite character is the chick with the crossbow, because I like that she has a pistol and a crossbow. The crossbow does enough damage earlier on in the game that you can take people out in one shot, which I kind of dig, because that game's all about not getting hit. It's not about killing things, it's about not getting hit. If someone hits you, they don't give you anything. So if a bullet hits you from a character and you kill them, or an enemy, you don't get money from them. And money is how you essentially keep progressing by buying more health, more weapons, all that kind of thing.
You do get money.
If they hit you?
Oh, not if they hit you. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if a bullet hits you from an enemy, you don't get anything from them.
No.
Which I think is something that a lot of people, when they first start playing the game, don't realize. So that fucks up your runs. Like I said, if I can give you any tip at all to the game, don't get hit. That's the biggest thing. Fucking, if you can't get a shot, just make sure you're not getting hit until you can get a shot. I think I got to the 3rd floor once. So like I said, I didn't put a whole lot of time into this. I always have problems on the second boss at some point. Like I have trouble getting past that one. Lack of skill, lack of interest, I don't know. But yeah, overall, I mean, I dig it. It's just whenever we get like a roguelike, the hardest thing is like to maintain my interest, because I'm a person who likes progression in games. That's why, like, when we're talking about Persona 5, Ni no Kuni 2, Far Cry 5, any game where like I'm moving towards something and I'm getting more things, that's exciting for me. And a game that's like about skill, which I do like, but like there's a lot of FPS out there that are skill based, it's all progression. It's not even that aspect, but like that's not enough to like really get me going, right? So like it's not a lack of liking, or it's not me disliking it. It's just it's not necessarily a genre that I'm particularly into, which is kind of rare because I like most things. But yeah, what's your general thoughts? It's gonna be a fucking short episode.
So you said a lot of stuff that I agree with. I do think it has a cool visual style. Devolver Digital games usually do. I really appreciate the controls. It's a very tight playing game, very reminiscent of playing like a Souls game in that regard. Like if you get hit, it's because you weren't paying enough attention. Yeah. So
I'm sure I walked into bullets.
Oh yeah.
I was like so ready. I'm like, I'm gonna dodge it, and then I go and just get hit in the face. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
Well, like I was fighting a boss earlier today, and there were so many bullets on screen that I kind of like lost where I was at. And so yeah, I was walking into bullets every once in a while. So
yeah,
The variety of guns is neat, and I think that also adds to the difficulty of the game, though, because sometimes you get a weapon and you try to use it and it just sucks.
I got last time I just played, which was about 10 minutes ago, I got a Super Soaker that was kind of neat because I had a constant stream that was always going, had 1,000 ammo, and like, so you're constantly hitting people, but like the damage output was so fucking low that it wasn't viable for me. I just went back to the starting crossbow. So,
yeah, I think two of the ones that I think of that I just didn't have a good time with was I got the Winchester, and I was like, oh, cool, and I went to shoot it, and it just like it was a spread shot, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be that close to people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I stopped using that, and then I mentioned this on a prior episode, but I ended up getting there's a gun in the game which is a bullet that shoots guns that shoots bullets. And it's super obnoxious because it literally just kind of boom.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said that.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about a gun. I think you're talking about the enemies that are bullet shaped.
No, yeah, there's a gun you hold that's it's a bullet and it shoots out a gun that shoots out bullets. So, and you'll fire and it shoots out a little pistol that spins and occasionally shoots. So,
oh, I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
No control. I don't like that. Most of the time, honestly, I play the Marine just because I like the free hit.
Yeah.
I use his pistol. Even on boss fights, I find myself using his pistol more than a lot of the weapons, unless I get something like an automatic weapon or a beam weapon that does decent damage or any like explosive type weapon. But I need it to be kind of like just a direct shot. And the pistol's great just because the fire rate's good. The only part that sucks is the clip's small, so you're reloading a lot. So.
Yeah, no, with him definitely. I think he's my second most played character.
Plus the supply drop is super nice, being able to get some more ammo. This time I had a string of bad luck every time I played this game. I couldn't get past the second floor, which is really driving me crazy because I know when we co-opted the first time we played it, I think we got to the fourth floor during one of our runs.
Wait, you can co-op it?
Yeah. We played it together before.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember there being co-op. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck didn't we play?
I don't know. We weren't ever playing at the same time.
Huh. Wow, what a missed opportunity.
But so there's a plus to the game as well. It is a co-op roguelike. So if you got a buddy to play with, it is very cool. I also like there's a bunch of like mini things to do in the game. So like there's the store you can go to and you can spend your bullets to get, random stuff. They also have, there's like a shooting game. So you can give them a certain amount of bullets and you can try to target and win a prize type of thing.
Randomly generated ones.
Yeah.
I ran into one of those.
There's all sorts of stuff in the game that's random. There's even one, and I didn't get to finish it, but when he got to the second floor and the elevator went away, I jumped down in the hole that the elevator was in, and I went into a room and a guy was working on something, and he asked me to get parts for him. Mm-hmm. So there's just a lot of little things to do in the game. So it does have the ability to have that investment time. Now, the part where I'm going to agree with Seth on this as well is I don't find the hook in the game. I love playing it in short bursts.
Yeah, it's fun to play
every once in a while, but I can't just like immerse myself in it.
I find myself looking for what I'm going to play next as I'm playing it.
So yeah, after a few rounds,
if it was on my phone, it'd be a great game to have. Like if you're like in between or commuting, or not while you drive, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we put it on the list because obviously we liked it and we wanted to revisit it. And I think it was nice being able to revisit it. And I would completely play it again at some point. But it's definitely one of those games where I'm just like, I got like 5-10 minutes to play a game. I don't have to really think about it. I'm not going to care that much if I die because you're probably going to anyways. So
that's my thing too, is like I don't take it too serious. Like I'm like if I'm playing like a fucking tactical shooter, I'm like playing like really hardcore and really into it. In a game like this, like that I know that like when I die, it's got to restart anyway, and like I'm not really like, I know there is things you unlock, but like they're not incentives that are strong enough for me to fucking really care too much. So like a lot of times I'm just kind of fucking around until I die. I'm like, wow, it's fun, and then like and for anyone who's super into those games, like fucking awesome. Like if that works for you, that works for you. But it just doesn't work with my brain. I'm just like, it's not enough for me.
Yeah, and I think we have what I'm looking for. Similar mentality when it comes to like what hooks you into a game.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, this is a very good roguelike game, and if it is your genre, I think it is a must play. It has
top 5 easy.
Yeah, it has all the stuff you're looking for. It's challenging. It has the random elements. There is technically progression, just like in Rogue Legacy, which Seth brought up earlier, has a system of progression as well.
Unlocks. So armor, you get better.
That kind of stuff I always appreciate because
skills.
As much as I would never talk bad about it, but like Super Meat Boy, you unlock characters, which is cool. But like that game is literally just like I did it.
Oh, definitely. That and Trials.
Yeah.
I spent an hour on one fucking level in Trials one time, just balancing and fucking just bouncing my fucking bike to the next stick. And then all this crazy shit and weird like vertical things I had to caterpillar up.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much my general impressions of the game.
You borderline sound like you're recommending it to people, so let's talk about that.
Okay. Like who would I recommend it to?
Yeah.
I would recommend this to anyone who likes roguelikes, anyone who's trying to maybe try out a roguelike. If you love bullet hell games, I think this is kind of a must play.
If you're into bullet hell games, you need to play this because it's one of the only ones out there that's like this well made. Like in 2000, I mean, it didn't come out in 2018, but as of now, it's a modern bullet hell game. So if you're looking for one of those, it's here.
It's not as crazy as like a traditional bullet hell game. So it might be a little underwhelming if you're really into bullet hell games, but
it might get crazier later.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen some of those bullet hell games? Are pretty ridiculous.
Ikaruga, whatever the fuck it's called.
Ikaruga. Well, even there's a bunch of like little beyond indie. Like one guy made some bullet hell game, threw it on some random website. I knew a guy a couple years ago. I'm not gonna name him, but he used to like go out of his way to look for those games, and I just never heard of any of them. So I was like, where the hell are you finding all these? And he's just like, oh, they're just random websites and forums and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's this little subculture out there for that.
Dark web.
So, might be easy compared to those people. But for your average bullet hell fan, like I'm a fan of Gradius, for example. It's fun. And there is a level of skill and a sense of accomplishment as you progress. The only thing that might be frustrating is the weapons are completely random. So,
which brings in my recommendation: if you're into roguelikes, you need to play it. If you're into Gradius type games, you need to play it. Outside of that, and if you like a game that's like high skill, like a game that you can be the dude who's really good at. It's not a game that everybody's just gonna play and go, hooray, we're having fun. Like this is a game where like someone plays it like, man, that game's hard, and someone else is like, fucking, I got to like the 5th or 6th level, dude. It's a game like that. If you look for bragging rights, it's a game where you can do that. If you like Binding of Isaac, which is pretty much the same game, this is a must play, I think.
Except for Binding of Isaac is so much slower paced.
Yeah. But it's similar in structure. In fact, I think this took a lot from it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I just after I played Binding of Isaac. I played Enter the Gungeon and then went back and played Binding of Isaac, and I couldn't do it anymore.
And that's the thing that I think is funny is I think Enter the Gungeon is a better game for sure. I never played the second Binding of Isaac, but I couldn't get into Binding of Isaac. Like I kept trying to play it and I couldn't do it, and it's too slow paced for me. Even the shooting was just like, doo, doo, and I was like, ugh. And the humor's cool, whatever. But then I played this and I was like, oh, this is a better version of Binding of Isaac. So if you played that, you haven't played this. Play this. It's better in my opinion, but you might be a purist. I'm definitely not. And yeah, if you're a fan of Devolver as a publisher, play it for sure because it's right in their fucking what they do. It fits in perfectly. So outside of that, if you are not into any of those things, don't check this out. You're not going to dig it. It is what it is, 100%, and it's not trying to get anyone else into it. I'm sure they would love to, but they didn't make any effort to try and make it welcoming to anybody who's not into those.
I think anyone making genres. A roguelike isn't trying to make it welcoming at all.
Yeah. It's for the specific people. And to make a game like that, you have to be like challenge minded. Like how can I fuck people over? Mm-hmm. So if you like Dark Souls, you might like it too. I don't think they play anything or feel anything alike, but they're both games that are like I conquered this. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as I go with my recommendations. I feel like co-op games, maybe, but you need to check off some of those things I said, because if you're not into those things, your buddy's not into that thing, you're probably not going to dig it. Go play Contra. That's way better. That's an old reference, but I love
an old reference.
I love
dating yourself.
I love Contra. Contra Hardcore for Sega Genesis. Fucking, I know a lot of people are like, with the original. No, that one's the best in my opinion. One of my favorites. The one for PlayStation was great too. No one played that. Let's grade it. We'll start.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a very, very strong, confident, respectable C+. The reason I'm giving a C+ is because it passes. It's a great game. It's not personally something that I'm super passionate about. It's something I would definitely tell people to play, though. Someone's like, I need a roguelike. Play this one. But yeah, does everything right. Does everything perfect. Plays really well. That's why I'm giving it the C+, is because it plays really fucking well. Really love the way it feels when you play it. Has a lot of variety. Has a lot of cool things going on for it. Can't go any higher than C+, just because I have no love for this game at all. And I have no will to want to come back and play it. I would, but I'm not going to be thinking about this afterwards. I think the only way I'll actually play this ever again, which is going to sound a little extreme, is if I play with a friend. In fact, when you brought that up, I was like, wait, we played together? When that happened, this game would be so much better co-op. I completely forgot about that. It's fucking gone on my memory. So I think C+ is fair for somebody who's not even into this genre. So yeah, really confident, strong. C+. A+.
I'm gonna grade this twice. One is going to be my personal feelings, and one is going to.
One's got to be official, though. I mean, you can tell people like that, like that's your system.
Okay, I'm gonna say B+, because okay. I do think you're getting a quality roguelike. It is a well-made game. It has a lot to offer, and I can't think of any flaws in the game besides personal gripes, because it just isn't, like Seth said, isn't really doing it for me. On a side note, so yeah, I would personally give it, like, for me, it would be about a C+, B- area for me. So, because I do find it enjoyable, and I can play it a little bit and have a good time, but I will only play for 2-3 runs and I'm done. So, but yeah, B+, I think is my grade.
That's high. That's good. Yeah. And I can get behind that, but I do merge the two, and we have never really discussed how we grade things. I just essentially said, give it a fucking grade, because I think it's a good varied area of feeling out something. But when I grade something, I always take my personal interest in it and how well I think the game is made, because that's kind of a thing in this channel, is about understanding gaming as well as what we're into, but what other people are into. I think it's really good for conversation and people just getting along when it comes to gaming. When you're like, you know what, I'm not into Gears of War, you like it, that's awesome. If we're like kind of poking each other like, yeah, fuck that game, haha. But like, when it comes down to it, I want to have those variables. And I think in grading it, it comes down to what I'm prioritizing. If I play a game that I see a lot of value in, I think it's really good, but I'm not into it, my priority on me, my personal want or likes of it, that priority goes down, and I start valuing the quality of it. If it's a shit game that I love, though, I mean, that's going to alter that too. Whereas it seems like you like to separate them, even though, like I said, I need like an official grade or whatever. There's been multiple times now where you have graded things really fucking high, and then given what like your personal, how much I enjoyed it, how much I would play it. So, which is fine. There is no system outside of the grading system, but it's an interesting thing to see the differences.
Yeah. Well, and a big reason, just so people can understand where I'm coming from on it as well.
Sure.
Is I do want to try to be as objective as possible when I talk about a game. A good example will be tomorrow for Plus Club when we talk about Bloodborne. You'll get a good example of that.
Oh yeah.
I want to be able to look at a game, because even if I play a game and I don't enjoy it necessarily, I can usually still see all the qualities in it.
Me too.
And just recognize that it's not working for me. And with Enter the Gungeon, since that's our game topic, it is I think, one of the best roguelikes out there you can play. And I think the quality and the price is right for it. So that's my official, like, that this is what I'm grading it. And then I just bring in the other ones just in case you might find yourself on the same wavelength as me as far as game preference goes, and you can use that if you want. So
yeah, it's very, very rare that I will actually have a strong opinion on a game to the point where I take myself away from it. Like my ability to understand somebody else liking it. And I can typically understand why somebody likes a game regardless, but like a game like Life is Strange, I start at the point where the game starts feeling like it's insulting, and I feel like I could actually debate somebody on that game whether they took a strong stance on the opposite side, which I would do as friendly as possible. But if I feel like I could like show them like why there's certain aspects of that game that are fucked, then I'll like go like, I hate this game. But I still would never tell somebody, you're fucking stupid for liking it.
Sure.
Because that's just not really who we are on this channel. But yeah, anything else you want to add to how we grade things? Anything about Enter the Gungeon before we end this?
Nope. If you own Persona 5, remember to play it next month. And if you don't, I've seen it go on sale multiple times for $30 now, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, I back that. I'm actually excited to play this one because I've needed to, and now I have to. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Game of the Month. Make sure to let us know in the comments what you thought of the game. And, what would you grade it? I never asked you guys that, and I should. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Game of the Month. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Make sure to hit the notifications so you know when I go live. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until next episode, which will be tomorrow, talking about Bloodborne, Ratchet & Clank for Plus Club. Make sure to play those and tell us what you thought of those. And if you played them before, let us know what the fuck you think of them. Still, have a good night. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And take it easy, guys.